A huge moo to the herd, and welcome to episode 31 of our Omnifactory playthrough. Quick update on... Oh, why isn't that loaded up? Give me a second for that to load. What's going on there? Yeah, quick update on what I did between episodes. So, first of all, that's all loaded up, cool. You'll notice that the... when it eventually loads, that annoying noise is auto breakers sitting, there they are, here to make things a little bit quicker. Let's blacklist, add breaker. Actually, additions. Top machine crusher constructor. No, there's nothing there. That one. Add. Quiet. So yes, where was I? There is auto breakers now installed rather than the pistons, which meant I can do away with the vacuum hopper and everything else. I put some ineffable glass in just so I can walk in and out of it. This monstrosity over here, which doesn't quite work, is for making diamond hose and diamond axes, which are then sent to our Ender IO farmer for our tree farm. Now I've got access to the Signalium and Lumium. I'm going to replace this tree farm with a phytogenic doohickey. I can't remember what it's called. Phytogenic insulator. That's the one. I knew my memory would just kick in at the right time. I've also moved our distilled biomass distillation tower is now outside, and I've given it the 2 additional layers so we can get all of the resources. I think that's pretty much the bulk of what we've done. So the other thing that I did do between episodes, and it took a very long time, was not titanium, tungsten. Made 146 tungsten coil blocks. So we are now in a position where we can update the EBFs. So I can put my row of EBFs all in along here. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that off camera or on camera. If people would like to see me build and passive as many metals as possible, then please feel free to throw a comment in the comment section. If not, I'll probably do it off camera. Now, today's episode is going to be something slightly different. So if I go to the quest book, not that one, and go mid-game, this section over here is all about fission. And I thought it would be fun to make a fission reactor, because who doesn't want the power of the atom in your hands? So, prior to the episode, we've got some boron. Basically just electrolyzing. Is it electrolyzing? Borax gives me the boron. I think it's electrolyzing. And then yttrium, which is centrifuging rare earth. Now I've got a ton of rare earth, and I'm not sure where I got it from. Probably one of the things I was doing, I managed to get a load of rare earth. If I go here, just search for rare earth. Got 4,397 piles of rare earth, so that's pretty good. And you just centrifuge that, and you get. Where are we? Is it centrifuge or no? I'm sure it is. 1 second. Yes. Centrifuge that to get small piles of yttrium, and then you put that into a big pile. So that's been done. What else did I do? Barium is from barite. So again, electrolyzing barite dust gives me barium, sulfur, and oxygen, which is one of the things that I've done. What else was there? Yttrium barium cuprate, which is a blast furnace of compound, which consists of, I put a mixed recipe, copper, barium, and yttrium, and that gives me the ingots, which are then in the freezer to give me that stuff. And the reason we wanted all of that, along with hard carbon alloy, which is just graphite, which I bought the graphite and put it through my ore processing, and diamond, is to make advanced plating. And advanced plating requires basic plating, which we go back to my quest book, which is boron, ferroboron, tough alloy, and basic reactor plating. And the reason I wanted all of that is to make our fission reactor, which required a fission controller, 8 reactor cells, 8 lapis coolers, 4 glowstone coolers, 4 blocks of graphite, and 54 fission reactor casings, which require basic plating, which require tungsten plate, and tungsten is obviously made in our blast furnace. If I go to my compressor, and that, to make those 54, took over an hour. So yeah, it took a bit of time. Now, enough waffle from me. Let's get to do something interesting. Just because it's a fission reactor and things may go boom, I'm going to put it out here in this area. We'll get rid of this first. Punch you. Sounded like a villager a second ago. So let me just pop this all in my bag. Row, wooden gears, beetroot seeds, they're always useful. Something wonderful. I bet it's not. A chest. Anything else? No. Okay, so let's read the quest book. First, set up your 54 reactor casings to encase a 3x3 cube, empty shape of empty air. The casings should only cover the faces of the interior cube, not the edges or the corners. You should have exactly the right number of casings to encase a 3x3 space. Right, so get my fission reactor case. Fusions later. Right, so 3x3. So 1, 2, 3. Right, so we want a 3x3 of air. So have I got some lab block? Perfect. There. And it's got to be, actually I don't want to do it there, I want to remove that. Got that there, that there. This is always like making a tinker smelter. Alright. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's drop those in here. And what I want, I know I've got an extra casing, so I'll just use that for the time being. The reason I've got extra casings is because I put an order in for 54 and it gave me 56. So then in theory I should have 2 left over, and I do. Right, so I've done my case. Next, create a hole so you can get inside the cube. 1 hole. Place the reactor cells in all 8 corners. Right, so into the hole, put night vision on so everyone can see. And right, where is my reactor cells? In all 8 corners. I'm sure I put them in. I did. They're different colour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done. What next? Then the lapis corners will go between them. 4 on the top layer and 4 on the bottom layer. Right, so I'll grab our lapis coolers. No, don't throw them away. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. It's getting very claustrophobic in here. Let's take back. 4. Okay. So lapis coolers are done. At this point, the top and bottom layers should have 8 blocks each with an empty middle, and the middle layer is fully empty. In the middle layer, place the 4 graphite blocks on the corners and the 4 glowstone coolers on the sides, so they touch both lapis coolers. Right, 4 graphite blocks on the corners. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the glowstone ones, I'm guessing, are going in 2, 3, 4. Now it is very cozy in here. I'm glad nothing's working, otherwise I'd be irradiated by now. Now the cube should be full, except for an empty column in the middle. The reactor will now be complete when you reseal it up with the casings you removed to access the interior. So let's go up here. Here. We'll grab our fission reactor casing. And I think that's right. Just remove all of these. Make sure I didn't smash out reactor casing there. Right, we have a cube of sorts. Now what do we need to do? Another cube should fall, blah 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 blah. Finally, place the fission reactor controller along any edge or corner of the reactor. Open the reactor controller GUI should let you know that the structure was properly formed. If not, go back and check what you did wrong. Chance of me doing something wrong? Pretty high. So let's just drop this here. And it works. Yay! A 3x3 fission reactor. The lever is placed on the reactor as a redstone signal is required for it to start working. Reactors can overheat and melt if the temperature exceeds its ability to cool. You can make a safety loop on the controller instead of the lever to automatically shut off the reactor when it starts getting hot using a redstone conduit, a redstone sensor filter on the input channel, and a redstone NOT filter on the output channel. Make sure the input and output are on the same channel color. Okay, so we'll grab our lever. We'll stick it here. So it's doing nothing at the moment because, you know, it hasn't got any fuel. So that's that done. So the next one is nuclear fuel infrastructure. Now, one of the things I did was made a thermal centrifuge, which is downstairs. Actually, I've just used the door here. Thank you. I'll just show you it. Actually, I used the thermal centrifuge to make the uranium-238 and the uranium-235, which I then turned into LEU-235 fuel. And as you can see, if I do LEU, I have 10 of these cakes. Now, they look like cakes, so I'm going to call them cakes. So the next thing we need to do is feed this into our fission reactor. And hopefully everything doesn't go bang, because this will make for an interesting, if not brief, episode. Right, so fuel in. So we're minus 13 heat, I think that's good, and it will generate 2,240 RF per tick, and it has 8 cells. So if I flip this, we now, powering up with energy. It's 233.3% efficient. And the thing is, and this is the thing we need to mind, keep in mind that power generation is not the goal. The duration of all fuels is quite short in Omnifactory. What you want are the next fissile materials in the chain, which is exactly what we're trying to do. I'm hearing clicking now. Is that just a sound effect, or am I being irradiated? That is the question. I'm not seeing any indicators that I'm being irradiated. So yes, use my hook to get closer, just in case I was. Right, we've got our first depleted LEU-235. So that completes that quest. So what's next? Plutonium fission. Low-enriched plutonium-239, or LEP-239, is made from the usual 8:1 ratio of 2 isotopes of plutonium required from earlier depleted fuels. Depleted LEP-239 will give you curium for further enrichment. High-enriched plutonium fuels will give better results, but generate a lot more heat. Make sure your reactor cooling is up to the task. Though I've just built the one that they suggested, so as soon as we've got minus 13 heat, we're nice and stable at the moment. I'm not going to risk it. but I probably will do later on. So let's get 2 cakes of our depleted LEU to 235. And what can we do with these? We can stick them in a centrifuge. And I have one of those downstairs. And while I'm downstairs, if I hear a loud bang, I know that the thing blew up. So this is a feeder reactor. Or breeder reactor. So we're using this to get fuels. I'll be honest, I have no idea why I'm doing this. Right, into our centrifuge. But I have learnt one thing from playing this mod pack. If it's in the quest book, there's a damn good reason for it, and you should probably follow it. So, right, what do we need? We need plutonium-239. So, plutonium. Plutonium. 239, okay. Let's make up a lump. Right, so that's one. Plutonium-242. Put that way. Plutonium-242. Do I have any plutonium-242? How do I get plutonium-242? From centrifuging the fuel that we're going to be burning, so that's definitely not what we want to do. Is there other ways? Let's try tiny clumps. Centrifuging our depleted LEU, and that gives me tiny clumps. Why have I got only 239? Oh, plutonium-242 it says. Tiny clumps of plutonium-242 in a centrifuge from our LEU should get 32. But it doesn't seem to be there. Let's go and see what's happening with our centrifuge. Because I would have expected, unless it's a chance of getting it. Not that one, that one. No, looks like it's a definite happens. Oh, that's 233. I'm doing 235, aren't I? 236. Ah, interesting. So, HEU 235 gives me plutonium 242. And 233 gives me tiny clumps of plutonium 242. Right, that's it. Very interesting. I did not expect that. Right, so what do I need to get 233? So if I go back this way to thorium fission, thorium dust. I have thorium dust, so TBU fuel. So I need thorium 232, which is just thorium dust in a centrifuge. You'd expect that if you were getting plutonium fission and you needed the the 242, that would be an and rather than an or. So, oh well, let's do thorium fission. So how much thorium do I have? Enough. We'll stick that in our thermal centrifuge. In you go. And while that's doing that, we'll go and see if our reactor is a smouldering pile of tungsten steel plates. Or tungsten plates, actually. How are we doing? Right, I've got 6 cakes, and I think we're on our last cake, or our second to last cake. So I'll just grab those. And I've got 20 seconds of fuel remaining. I do like the clicking sound, but it does make me wonder if it is radioactive or not. Is there any Geiger counter? Nope. Rad. Doesn't look like anything. That looks like a radiation monitor. That was a second to last. So how much is that? 30 seconds. While that's finishing off, I'm going to drop the remaining cakes into the centrifuge. Get some more stuff out of it. And hopefully our thorium will have made some progress. Yeah, thermal centrifuges are absolutely slow. So if I'm going to do this, or when I figure out what I'm doing this for, I will have to parallelize this. Parallelize. Lots of L's in there. Right, cakes in the turbo centrifuge. And how much thorium 230 do I need? 232, 232, 232, 230. That's all 232. Okay. So I only need another 3 of these to make our thorium 232. 230. Yeah, 232. And then we can feed that into our fission reactor. And we'll be done. Okay. I wonder if I've done something wrong. Definitely plutonium-242. Tiny clumps of 242 comes from a centrifuge of HEU-235, which we could make, I guess. Depleted LEU-233, which is what we're going to make now. HEU-233, LEN, which I think is Neptunium. HEN, which is Neptunian and more a chicken. Plutonium. Yeah, so it seems that the LEU-235 doesn't give it. It's HEU-235. That is uranium-235, 4 lumps of, and uranium-238, 5 lumps of. 238 comes from uranium-238, which is what I think I've got upstairs. There we are, uranium. Uranium-238. I've also got 235 dust from my processing, so I could make some up. Let's go the thorium route, because we started that. But I might go down the HEU 235. What does that give us? Fission reactor. That gives us 6 minutes. Base heat generate 300 heat per tick. And if I go for LEU 235, 50 heat per tick. I don't think I'm going to go for the HEU with our current setup without melting the reactor. I'm going to have to do some research between episodes and get a more stabilized reactor, I think, if I was to go that route. So we'll definitely go the thorium route. Okay, so hopefully that is finished. I've waffled for long enough. Do I have 9 pieces of it? I do. Thorium-232. Let's pop this in. I'm glad I'm holding, you know, potentially radioactive stuff in my hands without any concerns in the world. Right, TBU fuel. And if we take this out to our fission reactor. Now I wonder if this will cause it to melt. I didn't even bother looking at the 18 heat. This is not even going to scratch the sides. Right, this takes, well, this actually burns for a lot longer. So it's going to take a minute and a bit, minute and a half to do. It's going to generate a lot of power, and we're at minus 952 heat, so we're good on that one. Cool, and can run that downstairs to our centrifuge to get the last bits. I was hoping to get all the way to curium in this episode, but I don't think we're going to be able to manage that, which is fine. I think there's a lot more steps to do for our thorium before we can get it into uranium or LEU-233. So nuclear craft's not a mod I've played with, so it'd be interesting to see what happens on this one. Go back. So we're waiting for our depleted, to get the credit for that, TBU, which should just about be finished. Where are we? 5 seconds. Pop. We have a depleted TBU. So LEU-233. Uranium-233 is obtained exclusive from the fission of TBU fuels. LEU-233 is made from 1 uranium-233 and 8 238s. Depleted LEU-233 will give you various plutonium isotopes and americium. Right, so what do we need? Uranium-233. And that's tiny clumps of uranium-233, which comes from centrifuge, which we'll just run that in now. Oh, my friend. Where are we? Depleted TBU. That's gone into the thing. By the time I get back upstairs, should be sitting in my AE2 system. And we'll do a search for tiny clump. And we have that 400 tiny clumps of uranium-238 and neptunium and all sorts of stuff. I don't think that's right. Tiny clump of uranium-233, that's the one I wanted. So we have uranium-233. So LEU is, just get the recipe, LEU-233, make me some. Great. So I have that, and we're going to stick that in a reactor again, which better check it. 60 heat per tick, 144. This is going to be a bit tighter, I think. We'll see. The previous one was 50 heat per tick, and that gave minus 13. So let's really. Ooh, this is going to be risky. It's 280 heat per tick. This goes to 35 seconds. Okay, we definitely need a different reactor. Will this get there before it goes boom? That's the question. When will it redline? How long we got left? 13 seconds. Six seconds. So we seem to be okay. I mean, we've definitely got heat gain here. So our coolers are not up to the scratch for this. Ah, there we go. Depleted LEU-233. Which we can then centrifuge to get our plutonium. So we'll just stick that in quickly and see if we can make up our plutonium. And then we will be ready for the next stage. Right, stick that in. Right, what did I want? I wanted plutonium-242, which I have there. So we'll make up a... Weren't you working? You. No, I want that in my inventory. We get quest credit. LEP239 is the next one. Which I don't have enough. 242. Okay. So I need a lot more of that stuff, which we're not going to have time for in this episode. So between episodes, I will finish off getting some more plutonium. Which one did I want? Plutonium-242 to get our LEP. And then we should be in the process of being able to make plutonium fission done, and then it leads us on nicely to curium, californium, and berkelium, neptunium. Very rich in neptunium. Next step, fissile material. Oh, the depleted LEN236, which is this stuff, is plutonium. It gives plutonium-242, so it might actually be worth going down that other route as well. Then it helps if you read the quest book. Right, until the next episode, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to give it a like. If you'd like to see more episodes, please feel free to subscribe. Until then, I wish you a very pleasant day. Goodbye.